Hey guys, have a cool set of activities for you today. We're going to create stickers. So I'm going to walk you through how to create 3 different stickers. Mine are stickers, topics of kind of my choosing, things that are kind of important to me. And I'm going to give you free reign as to topics that are important to you. So we're going to create 2 what are called print and cut stickers, and saved as PDF files. And then we're going to save one that is just a black color image on a white canvas, and we're going to say that is SVG, and that's just going to simply cut out the white vinyl in that shape. So just follow along, walk you through it, it'll be fun. First thing you need to do is identify 3 different pictures. So the first 2 are going to be print and cut, so they're actually going to be images. So I'm going to run over to Photoshop and I'm going to open my first one. So I'm just going to go to open, and I'm going to open up a JPEG image that I found online. Alright, so USA, water ski, and wake sports. And I want to make a oval print and cut sticker out of this. So I'm going to start off in Photoshop so I can remove the white background. So just go ahead, I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to utilize color range, so select on the menu bar, let's go to color range. And I'm going to get rid of my white background. I've already done this once, so it kind of has my pre-saved settings. So just select your white background, and it's a solid white, so I don't have to sample too many pixel colors. And I can see in my preview screen, white is what's selected, and I'm just going to actually delete those white pixels because I don't want it. So I just hit delete on the keyboard, and now I'm left with what's there, USA, water ski and wake sports on a transparent background. That's what I want. So I want to save this image as a PNG file in order to maintain those transparent pixels. So I'm going to go to File on the menu bar. I'm going to go to Save As, and because I want to go to PNG, I need to save as a copy. So save as a copy. I'm going to save it on my desktop and stickers to print, and we'll give it a subfolder because I've been playing around. We'll go just lesson will be my subfolder, so I know I'm creating the correct stickers for today. Alright, and this is going to be USA WS for water ski. It's a PNG, and I hit save. Okay. Alright, so that's what I have. I have a PNG to work with. Let me run over to Illustrator, because it's Illustrator that I need to create the cut paths. So let me go to Open, and I'm going to Stickers to Print, and I'm going to go to my lesson folder because I know that's where I saved it. And I have my image that I saved, that PNG. Alright, so I open up in Illustrator, and if I pull this off the artboard there, you can see everything I want is isolated. So this one's super easy. I'm going to resize this down just a little bit. And like I said, like I said earlier, you're going to pick a topic that interests you. So once you bring over your image that you want to create a sticker out of, you simply need to create the cut path. So I want you, for this first sticker you create, I want you to create an oval cut path. Okay, so the way we do that is with our shape tool. So I'm simply going to get my shape tool right there, and I'm going with the ellipse. And let me do this to deselect it. Alright, so there's my shape tool, my ellipse. I'm going to reset the colors to black and white, and I don't want to fill, so just make sure your fill is no fill. And now I'm simply going to create an ellipse that I think is appropriate for this sticker, okay? And get it about right there. So I have my ellipse right there. I'm going to expand my layer panel because I want to use some alignment features to align that perfectly in the center of this in the shape. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'll go see if I can do 2 at a time. So I've got them both selected. So if I go to Object and Align, and if I choose Align Horizontal Centers, it aligns both of those in the horizontal center, and I can do the same thing with the vertical center. So I'm going Object, Align, and Vertical Centers. It aligns them to that is directly in the middle of that shape, right? So that's what we want. Now, the way the cutting machine works in the lab across the hall, it needs to be a specific color code that's associated with the cutter. So that is not anything you're going to find in the color spectrum. So if you go to this color spectrum and you try to find The pink swatch I'm going to show you, none of these colors will work. You have to go to the actual swatch that's specified that I give you. So to do that, all right, I need to go, I'm going to select that right there, and I need to open my swatches tab. So I'm going to go to Window on the menu bar, and I'm going to go to Swatches. So go down and find your swatches. And once you find your swatches, we need to go to this little menu right there. So swatches panel, go to this little menu right there, and go down to where you see Open Swatch Library. Open Swatch Library. Okay. So if I go to Open Swatch Library, I'm going to choose Other Library. Okay. Other Library, and this is where you need to find the swatch file that's on Schoology. So you'll have to download it from Schoology first. Now I'll remind you how to do that in the class, but I've already done it. Mine's already on my desktop. So if I simply go to Desktop, and I know it's towards all the way to the bottom, it's right there. It's the Onyx Cut Contour.ase. So if I open that, it's going to open these set of color swatches. All right, and our cutter across the hall in the lab is set up to recognize this pink color. So if I go to this, select my stroke, and I pick the pink color swatch right there, the Onyx, you'll see that it has now applied that pink color to the stroke of this shape. All right, this shape has no fill and it has that pink stroke, and when we load this into the RIP software to cut the vinyl, that is the cut path. All right, so I have everything set up pretty much how I want on this file. Last thing I'm going to do is fit the artboard to my object. So I'm going to go to Object on the menu bar. I'm going to go to Artboard, and then fit artboard to bounds, and it's going to fit this artboard to my sticker bounds because it's in the cut software, RIP software, where I specify the size of my stickers. So it's in that part of the software where I'm going to specify is the where I'm going to create the specific size of the sticker. So I have everything how I want it to be, and now I'm just simply going to save it as a PDF. So I'm going to go to File on the menu bar, go to Save As, and Format right there. I'm going to drop it down. I want Adobe PDF. So save this print and cut sticker as an Adobe PDF. And I'm going to save this inside that lesson folder so I know what I'm dealing with. And I hit Save. And hit Save right there. Alright, so I'm done with this sticker, at least this part, the development part of it. Alright, let me go ahead and close that file. Alright, the next one we're going to create is, I'm jumping back to Photoshop. I'm going to close this, I'm done with this one. Alright, I'm going to open up another image I have, so open. And if I go to my stickers to print and I go to pictures, there is an image right there that I want, and this should have been layer. Alright, so what I should have had here is just a regular image that had a white background, okay? So I want to get rid of this white background because I want it to be super, that is not my original image. Let me go back and find the correct one. I apologize, guys. That's the finalized one. Do I have it there somewhere? Desktop. It's the PNG. Let me see if that's the one I want. I think that's the finalized one. All right, let me go here. All right, so if I go to this website, United, and I want to use that to create a sticker. Keep in mind, I'm not creating these to sell these to make any profit. This is for educational purposes only, so I'm just showing you how to do stuff. So you can't just go out and use somebody else's logo or artwork to profit from it, but as a teacher, I kind of have the leeway to show you guys how to do stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and save this image, so save image as, and we're just going to call it, and we'll call this United. PNG, and now I should be able to open up in Photoshop. Alright, so it comes in like that. I guess it did come in pretty clean, pretty easy to work with. Alright, so that's what I have. I'm going to go ahead and, God, this one's actually just ready to go. I don't need to do much with this one. All right, so it has a transparent background. Let me go ahead and take that into the Illustrator. I'm going to just clean one thing up real quick. All right, so let me go ahead and save this file, save as. I'm going to save this as a PNG. And PNG, just save it, replace it, yes. All right, so that's what I'm left with there. Let me go back to Illustrator, and we're going to open. And United PNG, I just created it. You can see 1054. That's the version I'm dealing with. All right, so this is what I have. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this off my canvas. I can see I have the perfect shape of it right there. And I can see there's somewhat of shadow on there too. I don't know if I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is, let me go back to Photoshop. There's something I don't like about there. Let me go back to Photoshop. All right, so I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. So with my pen tool, I'm going to carefully just go around the edge of, I have a path, that's what I want. Just like we've been doing all along, guys. With the curvature tool, pen and curvature tool, we're going to go around and try to mimic this shape the best we can. There, and there. All right, so I have my anchor points. I'm going to use my free form tool. I want that to happen. I want my curvature tool. So now I can go mimic the shape of this the best I can. Alright, so close enough. Alright, so now I want to get rid of any possible thing that's on the outside there. So I'm going to convert this to a selection with 0 pixels. Alright, and I'm going to select the inverse and just hit delete to get rid of any pixels on the outside I don't want to deal with. Alright, so now I'm good to save this as a PNG to replace what's there. So File, Save As, and United PNG Lesson. I'm going to hit Save. It's going to overwrite it, so let's replace it. And hit OK. Alright, so now I'm going back to Illustrator, open up that document, and this is what I have. And if I pull this off my artboard, I can see it's pretty clean there. So the only thing I really need to do in Illustrator here is to create a cut path. So I'm going to utilize the same technique I did in Photoshop, is to just draw a, go along the outside, oops. Just draw along the outside of this sticker, or this image. And I find that if I try to go the equal distance on the outside, it works the best in its ability to create the correct curvature. So if I go there and there, I have all my anchor points where they need to be. I'm going to grab my curvature tool, and this is where I'm going to try to just mimic the shape of everything. Just do the best you can. Just gonna do a couple steps there. That's fine there. Good enough, good enough. All right, so I've created a path. So now I have this path, and I'm gonna offset my path to make it expand just a little bit. So I'm gonna Object and type, select, I just did it yesterday. Where's offsets? Let's see if it's right click. just did this yesterday and I can't remember where I went to. All right, so it's path right there. So I go to object, all right, so object on the menu bar, go to path, and then choose offset path. All right, now you need to determine how far out from that path you want this to be. All right, so I did this yesterday. Based on my sticker size, I went outside the path 0.05 inches, okay? Depending on your size, you may want to go more. So let me just change it slightly, 0.6, just to go a little farther out. So now I have a path that's 0.06 inches outside the edge of this sticker, and this is what I want to convert to my cut path. So I have that how I want it. So now I simply need to go to select the stroke right there, go to swatches, and I'm going to load that swatches library again. So hit the little button there, open Swatch Library, and Onyx Cut Contour is there now that I've done it one time, so I'm just going to hit that again. And because I have that selected, I hit the pink and close these, click off it. I now have that cut path applied to the outside of this sticker. So when I print this, this cut path will not print, but it will be recognized in the software as the cut line for this particular sticker. So that's what I want. I'm going to go ahead and save this. So File, Save As. I'm going to also save this as a PDF. So I'm going to go to Adobe Illustrator. I want to save it as a Adobe PDF, and I'm going to just call that United, and save PDF. All right, so that one's good to go. All right, the last example I want to show you is this one right here, okay? I simply found, we're going to do this slightly different. We're not going to print anything. We're simply going to cut white vinyl. So what we're going to do is we're going to create what you see here, or actually it's really simple actually, and then we're going to save it as a particular file format, SVG, in order for the software to cut out this shape. So let me show you what we're doing here. So let me go to Open, and I'm going to go to, let's go up, Desktop, Stickers to Print, where is the basketball PNG? Actually, I need to go into, that's right, I took one different step here. PNG basketball. Let me go to Photoshop. All right, so in Photoshop, I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm getting a little sloppy with where I'm saving stuff. All right, so I found a picture of a basketball. You don't have to flatten it. All right, so I found an image of this little stick character basketball player with the basketball, simply black and white. I want to stick with black and white. All right, so what I want to do is get rid of all the white in this image so it's just black on a transparent canvas. So let me just go to, we'll just do color range. So select in the menu bar color range. I've done this once, so it's saved kind of what I have. All right, and I hit OK. And I'm going to delete those pixels as well, okay? So I simply have this illustration as a PNG. So let's save it as a PNG and bring it over to Illustrator. So Save As. We're going to go with the PNG file format, basketball PNG, stickers print, and hit Save. Replace it because I've already done it, and hit OK. Now let me jump into Illustrator, and I'm going to hit Open. And basketball PNG, I just created it. That one. All right, so if I pull this off the canvas, you'll see there's nothing on the inside of it, and that's what I want, okay? But I also, right now, this is not a vector image, and I need to make it a vector graphic, I should call it. All right, so the way I'm going to do this is a method called image trace. So you should see image trace up here. If you don't, you may need to go to Properties panel right there. And if you don't see Properties, I want you to go to Workspace, Essentials, Workspace, Window Workspace, and then Reset Essentials. What that does is bring everything back to the default mode. So you should see in your Property tab, Image Trace. All right, so with the object selected, so give your selection tool, click on it. So there's a bounding box. Choose Image Trace. And we're just going to go, let me just go default and see if that works good for this. All right, so the default method with black and white worked pretty good. So what that did is went through the entire image and basically utilized a step like the pen tool would do for you to trace everything for you, put anchor points, and make it a vector graphic. All right, but a lot faster than doing it by hand. So now what I want you to do is go back to, where is mine? Wait, hold on. I had to go to Window and Control to bring up this option bar up here. So I did the image trace, and I'm left in with a button up here that says Expand. I need to hit that Expand button. And what that does is puts all the anchor points. So if I click off it, and drag them off the canvas, you'll see it put white back there. So I need to get my sub-selection tool, which is that one, or direct selection tool, different software. And then I click off the canvas and I click back on the white. All right, and now I'm simply hitting delete on my keyboard, and that deletes all the white on the outside of this character. I'm doing the same thing with the white within the face of this character, and if I'm very careful and zoom into the basketball, I can do the same thing there as well. I can click on that white, it selects all those, and it's gone. Sometimes you have to hit delete twice or select it more than one time to get it to work. All right, so now I have a vector graphic that I can blow up infinitely and it won't pixelate. All right, so this is important with a cut path as well. So now let me simply put this character back on my canvas right there. All right, and I'm going to put a name. I'm going to put my son's name next to this, okay? So his name is Ryan, so I'm going to get my text tool, and I'm going to click on my canvas somewhere in all capital letters. I'm going to type Ryan, and I'm going to size this up accordingly, okay? Now I need to pick a font type that I want to work with, so you just go pick a font you want. I'm going to go that one right there. Impact, it tends to be one I always go towards. And just to make it big enough to see, right? So I'm going to put Ryan right there. That might be a little big because you kind of want the name or the character to be the main part of this. So that's what I have right there. Let me go ahead and, oh, there's one more step I got to do. Now, this, because I created a vector graphic right there to work as a cut path. This, I need to create an outline. So select your text, and then I'm going to zoom in one time. Select the text, I'm going to right click, and I need to choose Create Outlines. What that does is put an outline around the outside of those letters, and now our cutting equipment will recognize and cut that just the way we want it. All right, so let's go to adjust our artboard. So I'm going to go to Object on the menu bar. I'm going to go to Artboard and Fit to Artboard Bounds. And that gives me exactly what we want to do. Now, this particular type of sticker, because it's not print and cut, it's simply cut vinyl only, we're going to save this as an SVG. So go to File on the menu bar. I want you to go to Save As. And File Format right there. We're going to drop this down to SVG. And this is going to be basketball. Let's call mine basketball player. And hit save. All right. So that's how I created my 3 stickers. You can choose 3 stickers of your choice, or if you want to utilize the same stickers I did, I'll make those files available for you as well. So I hope you had fun. Next step for this is the print part. So take care, guys. We'll see you soon.